How you doing?
It's a privilege, mate.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
We're there.
We're so glad that you can make some time to be with us. We appreciate it. We see you're busy. You're on your grind.
On a weeknight.
On a weeknight. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Say again?
On a weeknight.
On a weeknight. School night.
No joke.
You know that don't mean nothing, sir. So those of you lot that do the school run, like,
no, this is a commitment.
well done.
We appreciate it. So, yeah, man, kick us off. Introduce yourself to our people then.
Yeah, man, this is Marriage UK, Instagram and YouTube. We are helping people navigate life, single, married, divorced. We're having those discussions. We're helping people make it work, and we are working on us.
I like that.
Awesome. And how long have you, well, two things. How long has the ministry or the movement been going? And how long have you both been married?
By nearly 5 years of ministry.
I thought you said 5 years married. I said, where have I been? It's just like, so where have I been? Where have you been for the other years? We've been married for 19 years. 2 months, days, about that. That's big.
10 hours,
no hours,
46 minutes, 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we didn't say our names.
Yeah, go for it.
Introduce yourselves. Introduce yourself.
Curtis.
And I'm Wanitta. And I am Ramona.
And I am Luke. So it's great to meet you guys for the first time.
Yes, definitely. Even though we know each other from we born.
Exactly.
So I could give a little bit of background. Wanitta is my seasoned friend. Yeah, like, longest standing. Yeah, like, you know when you have the beans and you have to chop the onions and put the black pepper and little paprika. Right. You know, you have to just
season it up.
Season it up.
Right.
Guys, this is us. This is us.
Yeah.
This is the background marriage.
Likewise.
Yes, before the
likewise.
The
me and Curtis.
Yes.
Me and Curtis are seasoned. You know.
No, seriously. No, seriously. It was a quick thing. And I tell you, Luke, it was worth it, right? On a real, Luke is a soldier. And you guys. Listen, you guys are special. For real.
Thank you.
You're doing a special work, mate. You're doing a special work. I mean,
for real.
More than seasoned. I'll put some glitter on my beans for Mona. Do you know what I mean? So we go back since Mona was like about 5. I was about 7.
Wow.
7, 8, and we are seasoned people now.
Wow, 20 years.
20 years, no, more than 20 years.
Yeah,
I'm 5 years old.
You're trying to show my age. I'm young. Yeah, we're talking like nearly 39 years, love.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so 39 years. So we've seen each other go through all the transitions, all the heartbreaks, all the heart mendings. You know, all the heart expansions, and then the belly expansions, and then the flowers expansions, and everything expands.
Wow.
We've seen it all.
Wow. Everything went like this.
Yeah. So yeah, we are old. But I don't know if I could behave myself, but I'm gonna try. This is, I can see it says Templeway Church, so
I'm gonna be me tonight.
I'm not gonna be me and Mona, me and Luke.
I'm gonna be me tonight.
Luke. It's Templeway Church with you.
No, I see Luke and Ramona. I'm gonna be me. That's what it is.
I don't know if I have another gear, to be honest. It's gonna, I'll look back on this and be like, oh, Luke, did you forget that there are hundreds of thousands of millions of viewers around the world viewing this right now? Millions. They've all switched off their TV sets. They've all switched off Netflix, and they're tuned in right here.
Yeah. This is it. You forgot.
I forgot.
And if they haven't, then tag a friend, tune them in.
Because they're missing it.
This is the place to be.
In fact, we're going to tag it saying this was 2020.
Highlight.
Hashtag. So how has lockdown been for you? Let's start there. Like, how has marriage been during lockdown? This new phase, this untested phase of marriage.
I just said to Kurt, do you remember we used to do this 3 times a week in lockdown?
Wow.
like we were giving out.
Yeah,
Tuesday to Thursday, like stop. And Kurt was just finishing his assignments off. Work was thick. We was homeschooling, so we was dishing this out 3 times a week. It didn't mean that we didn't get time to stop and get the test, but I think during the test we were picking up lessons along the way. We had some great speakers who was teaching us how to do stuff. Well, we had them on to teach others. So actually, when we switched off the camera, it was us. We used to sit there and go, man, that was directly for us.
Yeah.
Everybody that came on. So a feature that's been in our marriage during lockdown has been about grace. Now, I don't want to get to church where people don't understand that word, but just giving a squeeze where a squeeze isn't due. Yeah. And not one of those squeezes, but a squeeze is in to say, I allow you, bruv. You get me? So that has been a feature, but it's been tense, but we've been growing and learning.
We haven't found it, I don't think we found it that hard. I think no harder than, I wouldn't describe it as hard. I would describe it as just finding our feet. We've been through a lot anyway, so I think that we just had we were blessed with resilience. We were blessed with a lot of issues in the earlier days of our marriage, and I think that when this kicked in, we just kind of laughed at each other in a way.
Did you say hold on a sec? Did you just say blessed with issues early on?
Yeah.
Blessed with issues.
Yeah. Bro, things are changing. Bro, listen. What I thought about God and black, those 2 words there, redefinition central right here, man.
Wow.
In the last few years, and we're going to, I suppose. I'm telling you, like, God has blessed us with storms.
Wow.
And so COVID for us, in my opinion, we did it quite well. And that doesn't mean that we just rode the wave and we didn't fall off the surfboard. It meant that we got back on and it was cool, you know. It was. Yeah, so we were blessed with black and COVID, with black and storms. Yeah.
Wow.
We kept it quite busy, to be honest. We were working. We're still working at home.
Yeah.
We were trying to homeschool at home as well in that time.
Around the same table
with the same kid. And the teacher just told us yesterday, like, the amount of hours we were giving the little one a day was too much. It was like, it should have been 1.5 hours a day max. And we were like, she was sitting there for like 3 hours, like.
Not solid.
Not solid, but it was like, bad. And when we first started, it was like Joe Wicks and then straight full school day. And it was like, nah, he said, nah, you went over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I ain't gonna lie, I did tell you that though.
You did tell me, but I said, you know, maybe that's for those who are seasoned in the homeschooling. Yeah. And maybe I thought she needed a bit more. But we did a lot. We got a park behind our house.
Nice.
So it was regular trips to the park. It was teaching them, our middle one had to box. Wow. It was riding bikes. We did a camping trip in that time. Wow. We did exercise in the park. We wrote stuff. We did this. So kept it busy, not to hide, but kept it busy because it worked for us.
Yeah.
Pull back a little bit. So we haven't been on lives for a bit because we've just been trying to live like everyone else.
Yeah.
How you guys get so much color on the screen? Like, where's our? They got color. I'm seeing brown, red. No, in your faces, man.
Oh,
like,
okay. Oh, right. It's maybe she's born.
It's the melanin.
It's the melanin.
It's the melanin.
I need to get some of that, man. Where you get that?
I had to get washout.
My mama give it to me.
I had to get washout.
Oh,
melanin. You get me?
It's not fair.
Daddy.
We need some of that melanin.
Yeah, our color don't look as nice as yours, man.
No, this is well. You can see the problem we have though is the ring light. You can see it in our glasses. That's the sacrifice we make.
Yeah, we got the ring light,
but we turned
it back to front because then we'll I'll blend it with the wall. So
yeah, it does everything like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me too. That's what I do.
that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah, cool. This is the thing, and this is interesting because that is one of the things I've appreciated the most. Actually, even though in that little segue is that I can call you at any time, either of you, and be like, yo, how do I do this? How do I do that? Or what about this? What about that? And I think that is one of the most beneficial things of kind of the relationship, but also maybe about having like marriage to marriage relationships as well. Speak to us a little bit about that. Like, how important do you think that is for married couples to have married couples as part of their friendship circles?
Well, it's so important because when we were moving house, I said, there's one guy I know who, if everybody else says the settee can't get through the door, he will get it through.
All right, that's the story. This is why you need to have friends, right? And they have to be married, because only married guys will get it done.
Yeah. Because single man ain't bothered.
Ready.
Single man don't know how serious it is. Right?
Oh gosh.
So Luke, you helped me get the couch in the house. He did a little Tetris kind of thing, Krypton Factor, Flex. And he wasn't in that. Yeah, it was through the front door.
No, yeah, the first one.
No, we tried. We got it through the front door. We couldn't get in the.
Over the banister. Yeah.
And the banister still mash up.
Oh,
no, don't watch that. Don't watch that.
Okay.
It's a feature.
And then we got a guy to come and pull out the window frame.
Yeah. And
Luke and I scraped this thing through the window, and we're gonna call you back when we move in to come and take it out.
No problem.
Yeah?
No problem.
Because only you know how to do that, and that's why we have married couple friends.
Wow, that is it.
So in answering the question, right? No, but we are again so fortunate to be around 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's it.
Proper
6 maybe
couples married, and we talk. And I don't know many people that can do that.
Yeah.
When they're many couples that can do that, we have a gold mine, and that is helping us to say we're all right.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're not as bad as them. We're doing all right.
After I talk to Luke, I'm like, you hear what Luke's going through? I'm gutted, Luke. Like,
we're good, man.
You're messed up. We're good, man.
It's kind of it happens in, what's the word?
Waves.
In waves, isn't it? Like, people, when you're going through something, you know that you know the other couple's strong, and you can just say, you know, there's enough times that I'm just like,
yeah. And
then I know I can pick up the phone and I can call one and I can just be like, it's all going crazy now. Like, I don't know what to do. And it's just like, I just need someone to just stroke the hair and just say, it's all right. It's all right. just calm. Just like, you know, it's all right. It's all right. And I know
it's part of it. It's part of it.
It's part of it. It's the journey. Yeah. Ride that wave, and you'll get to the other side. And I always have, and we always do. And I know that, so I worry, I think, then for couples that might not have that, and I think there's something that people should definitely seek out.
Yes.
Now, don't go and pounce on a couple that you don't have a relationship with, but get to know a couple first, kind of get to see if you vibe. Just say, come over for dinner. It can start like that.
Yeah. I think we have the benefit of having history.
Yes.
So that helps with the trust. Do you know what I mean?
Does. Yeah.
Because I'm not really easy at that. In like brand new couple, let's go, everything's out. I think because we've got the history, it does help.
Yeah.
And trust that history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To bring it out. But I think one thing we don't do and we haven't done is dog each other's to each other. Like, leave him, girl, or pour hot water on him when he's sleeping. It's none of that. It's just like, look, this is the strategy. Try this. Do you know what I mean?
When I hear the kettle boiling late at night, I'm just suddenly awake. Like, she's gonna pour hot water on me because of Ramona's recommendation.
I texted that to her last week. Boil it good.
Boil it twice.
Put some sugar in there. Anyway.
Oh goodness, yeah. No. In terms of your friends outside of marriage, how has that been? Because our experience is that it's hard to be married and maintain relationships outside of that. Not necessarily because we don't want to, but sometimes people don't also want to. I mean, I get it. I've been single, and then someone just said, "Do you want to come on holiday with us and all our kids?" Not really.
Is there booze?
You know what I mean? So But as a result, then those friendships
drift apart.
They drift. So have you found that maintaining friendships with non-married people
how's it changed, or is it?
It hasn't changed for me personally, and I think Wanitta and we share friends. So if I have friends from I was a kid, they're now Wanitta's friends, and I think it's been like that vice versa almost. Wanitta's had a lot more friends than me, so it's not quite the same. But my friends are good peoples. Some of them single, and some of them divorced. Some of them going through hell with their current woman. So they are my friends are Wanitta's friends, and I meet them where they are, and they meet me where I'm at. And I think it's not so much about the marriage; it's more about the friendships. So I will maintain those friendships. It's not many, but I will maintain them, whatever status. Saying that, what I won't do is I won't try and live that single life. I'm not about, let's go out for a drink and go and hit the town. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not like that anyway.
Yeah.
I just go work and come home.
You
know what I mean? I'm boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I resonate with that. I'm not saying, sorry, I'm not agreeing that you're boring. I'm saying.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Luke?
I'm saying I resonate with that massively. Like literally there's once you factor, everything in, there's things that I want to do more at home that I don't get to do, let alone trying to take on other things. And I think that's been one of the things I need to work on in terms of like, because Mona's always like, you need more friends. Actually, she's got to say
or not even more friends. The same friends you've got, you just need to be in contact with them.
Yeah, a bit more.
That's
I find it difficult.
Don't be bringing no new friends.
No,
ain't got time for that. No time to day to that. No new friends. Just the old friends. Just like
because I ain't got time to be on the P's and Q's anymore. It's just like it's all out there.
100%. Yeah.
But the old friends are there, and the old friends are solid, and it's just hard to kind of be running life, family, business, everything, and then trying to be like with the social, trying to squeeze that in at the same time.
And that's where the benefit of married couples for me, married friends, comes in, because you understand when I say, sometimes I'll be talking to you regular, and then it might be months before I even say something. Then it might just be a like on a comment or on a post or a comment, but everyone understands it because we're in that similar stage. But otherwise it's just a bit tricky. It's just life's busy, man. There's just so much going on.
And you're lucky that you're married, because I make the deals happen, innit? I make the right on this date we're meeting up with Juan and Curtis. We're going to their house.
Yeah.
And then Luke always just like, what's the date?
Yeah.
100%. And I'll be like, it's happening.
100%.
It's happening. Yeah. Put it in the diary.
100%. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll get caught up in whatever the latest business is. I'm like, no, it's this. This is the one. I'm gonna be a millionaire from this. I just need. Just don't talk to me. Don't come in the office. Don't do nothing, and it's gonna pop. No, oh, was that the same one as last week? No, it's the new one, but it's transformed.
Yes, I know that feeling.
We know.
I know.
So it's crazy. So all right, so you guys have become like not become. You guys are.
Come on, get it right.
Yeah, you guys are role models. Okay.
Marriage role models.
Expect that one.
Yeah, you guys are role models. As individuals and as
a married
husband
couple.
and wife. Yeah, and as husband and wife, right? I told you I've got business on the mind. I'm just but yeah. So and obviously through the ministry that you're doing, it's brought you more into, I guess, the public domain as well. How do you find that in terms of living out what can be already a difficult? Oh,
my baby's awake. Oh, I gotta go.
This is the real.
Yeah.
How do you find that?
So so that's the little one. So she's just gone to sort out. But yeah, so how do you find that? Like, now that your relationship is difficult enough, or it has its own challenges enough when it's just you two, but obviously now being more in the public domain and talking about marriage, do you feel any more pressure, or or it's just water off a duck's back? Like how actively did you think about, okay, we're going to go into this and this is going to mean that this is going to be on display, like, or did it just evolve into this, or did you really think about it?
You can go. I'll do some layers. I think there's layers to this. There's layers, and I feel that the reason we went into it was to say, let's have some real conversations about real issues. It does not mean we are talking about our personal business online.
Yeah.
We treat the conversations as teachable moments for those who are listening and for ourselves. So it's not like we're on a reality show and everything's coming out and everybody knows our deepest, darkest secrets or our pains and hurts. We use it as a teachable moment. And the thing that always stays in the forefront of my mind is I'm talking to the internet.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the internet. So sometimes I do forget and I get a little bit more relaxed, but even in that relaxed moment, it's not enough to take the house down.
No.
You see what I mean? So there's always an awareness. We're talking to the internet. This is a teachable moment for ourselves and for them. And we're having real conversations that other people do not have and that we could have benefited so much more from. That's how you manage it. Yeah.
I mean, I've found that it's easy. You know something? This is where ministry as a whole, be it classic pastor church, or and then now everyone's on social media talking to someone. The more real you are, is the less pressure there is.
True.
So I find that performance is, performing in front of the world is the fast track to mental health breakdown. And I think that ministers, a lot of them miss the trick by just saying this is how it is without telling their business. So for me, it has been, in a sense, therapy. This is therapy right now. Because a lot of what I'm saying to you, some of what I'm saying to you, I won't know until I've said it out my mouth. You know what I mean? That's how therapy works. And then the more I've said, do you know what? I actually don't care what people think. And that is within the realms of don't expose yourself. But the more I say that, is the more peace I find. And so I've chosen to do this a certain way. What we won't do is always put up lots of pictures smiling like it's Chris. Because we don't want to create an impression that we're just flossing and glossing. We put up pictures about the moment, and if we want to say something serious, we will contextualize it by having a video conversation. What we do is just put up it's great.
Interesting.
With a coffee.
I like a few of those. I like
a few. That's it.
Yeah, of course. Splattered amongst everything else.
It's splattered amongst, but nobody knows we had argument just before on the lighting.
Come on.
And just after, because I took 50 million pictures.
Come on.
But we will say it. You get me? Come on. It's real. It's real. I put up a picture the other day, and it was by Brighton Beach. But when I saw the picture, what came to me was the scripture about Jesus calming the storm. And this experience of COVID has had me up, down, and sideways. And I was just like, mate, I'm not handling this storm really well at all right now. There's so much going on. And with that image, I attached it to that scripture. But nobody knew that in that image, my top had lifted up. And my belly was showing. I was like, this ain't going out to the internet, fam. We're going on Snapseed, and we're gonna
edit this.
Erase.
Brush.
Yeah, brush. And I brushed it so much that it looked like I had like a baggy white blouse. Nobody knows though, unless you zoom in, and then when you zoom in, you're fast.
You get what you deserve if you zoom in.
You get what you deserve. There you go, traumatized. So there is a place for it, man. There's a place and there's a time for it, but we don't overdo it.
No. And you know what? A lot of the videos,
a
lot of the videos that we have done with just
we're like news reporters when you stand up and you're like, what do I have on again?
If you remember, you got your trousers on, fam.
What you got on?
A lot of the videos that that we've put up from starting from the 15th year.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Some of the videos that we've done were born out of what you don't see in the outtake was some of the conflict we were having.
But some of the videos you put the outtakes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see the conflict we were having.
So it's not like Wanitta and I married 19 years and it's just Chris. We're at that stage.
Yeah.
Some couples can do that. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
So we're here. We'll say, we'll get the camera out. The ring light is facing back to front now, Luke. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the camera's in focus.
And I want to touch it.
And we're frustrating each other because
Wow.
we think so differently about the moment. We are this moment here that you see us in now. We process it completely differently.
Wow.
So Wanitta and I will always have to pull back and hold it down just to get this far. And that's us. Listen, when I say this, that's my best teammate.
No, that's real. That's real. Even, you know, we had similar conversations around like how we would do this, because the first time we kind of been on this together was on Tuesday. And we did it like a kind of, but before we came to that point, say again what?
I saw it. I like that one was up, one was down.
Oh yeah.
And you got to do the pointing up and pointing down. Yeah.
We did the kind of 21 questions vibe. And even before that, it nearly never happened, like the week before, because I was like, don't spill, no, you're gonna spill all the tea. You're gonna spill all the tea. It's like, what do you mean? Well, forget it then. If you're gonna, so we had that conversation going on. Now, I'm still not sure, because to be fair, like we're both unpredictable. So I still don't know what is gonna happen. But I just love it, because I just love this. I guess I'm an extrovert as well by nature, and I don't really, there's nothing really Mona could actually say that would actually, like, it shouldn't really matter in the sense, in the grand scheme of our relationship, and in the grand scheme of, oh no, Ramona said that Luke smells, oh no, like, oh, so like in that context, as long as we're cool. And I had to kind of get over myself a little bit about that, because I thought, what's she gonna say? Because, you know, Mona has like, sometimes Mona has she has kind of like a camera voice sometimes, which she hasn't done today. I think because you guys are here, she's been able to be very kind of natural and herself. But I was saying all of this stuff like, oh, you know, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and she was like, fine, forget it then. And then the 21 questions idea came, and I said, okay, let's do 21 questions. She's like, okay, fine. And
Alex, not like that.
Standard.
I can't laugh too much. My tooth's killing me, man.
oh,
Yes.
sorry. So yeah, so literally, yeah, I know that feeling of, as you're saying, being different people and having that, like, ooh, that kind of potential conflict, but it's gonna be all right. On the night.
I don't know what we're talking about, because having just walked in the room.
Oh, sorry. We were just talking about how amazing you are, basically, and
Thank you.
how this interview has gone downhill since you left.
Oh,
And now that you're back, it can return to its proper standard of excellence.
excellent.
So tell us about Love at First Sight. Is it Love at First Sight? Married at First Sight.
Tell you about it.
Married.
Tell us about, because I've seen clips,
We've
because
watched both of you on it.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
Not on it.
On the YouTube, yeah.
On the YouTube, talking about the show. We haven't seen you on Married at First
No,
Sight.
we haven't seen you on the show. We've seen the YouTube show that you do, which is a review of the episodes. And I'm a speed watcher of YouTube videos, so I kind of speed on double, and then I skim.
Ain't got no time to watch videos. Got to hustle.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad, but that's what I do. So tell everyone a bit about that, and what kind of inspired that addition to what you're doing.
Wow, that's a long story. I'm going to try and squeeze down. Should I go?
I'll squeeze the beginning bit first.
Double speed, man.
Double speed.
Double speed.
Double speed.
Oh, double speed. So I watched this YouTube influencer called Little Black Book.
Mm-hmm.
And I found him hilarious. He was from the ends. Do you know what I mean? I grew up with him. His face expressed everything I found really funny. So I used to just watch his stuff. He always reviews shows. He's got a really, really good following. And one day I just reached out to him and I sent him an inbox message and said, would you come on our live during the pandemic?
Right.
And he said, yes. And he came on, I think it was with us two and then with Kurt. And then they built a friendship, and then you can take it from there.
Yeah, man, we're on a little kind of am I too far back?
Yeah.
We're on a little bit of a hustle and right now. And so how much can I talk about that? Anyway, so what it is...
something coming, exclusive.
Yeah, we'll do that at the back end.
All right, cool.
So what happens is, so we're on a hustle, but he's a fruitful guy. He's just so, he's got this way when he's holding a mic. He's got this ability to speak and communicate in a way that just is refreshing for me.
Yeah.
And so on that basis, we worked together. And so Married at First Sight, he was doing it, and then I proposed something to him, and he said, "Yeah, let's do Married at First Sight. Let's review shows and videos, but we're trying to keep it holistic.
Yeah,
we're trying not to slaughter the contestants because it's just, even though they frustrate us, but Married at First Sight, obviously, for those who don't know, is couples that get married, meeting each other at the altar. They've never met before.
Wow. And
amazingly about the show is the show shows that if they can, some people make it, and if they can do it, boy, can't we all do it?
Can't we?
Yeah. But we're looking and breaking down why people are not making it. I'm shouting. I've got to shout. It's deep.
He's passionate about this.
Is it? I haven't got it.
My tooth's on fire. I'm just going to get it. You haven't
got
got it?
No.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
No
But
worries.
Kurt's here.
Okay, cool.
So talking about the love at first sight thing, I saw I know that you and Juan have a philosophy of like divorce is not an option. So Juan talks about this a lot, that divorce is not an option. And then I saw I don't know if you follow Black Love, # Black Love.
Yep. So to a point I follow it. I love Black Love, the show. And there was a couple on there that spoke, and they had, but I was fascinated by their view, which was quite the opposite. It was I choose to stay because actually divorce is an option. And it was interesting to kind of, I was torn. I was like, oh, because I kind of was like, no, I like that idea of like, and we often say like divorce is not an option for us. Like, so it's not even like, we don't even say the word, we call it the D word. Like, you don't even mention the D word. It's just like you just don't even say it. But then on the other end, when I was hearing this discussion about actually divorce is an option, and you know what? I could divorce you if I wanted to, but I choose not to. Every day I choose to stay, and it makes our relationship more valuable in the fact that actually we could both just duck out. I could be like, oh, divorce is not an option, and then Luke just went, nah, it's for me, and then just duck out, innit? So the point is, every day we choose to stay, and that is in itself, it holds some power, doesn't it? Like, how would you? Are you swayed by the new theory as I was? No, I think we're saying the same thing.
You think so?
It's just the flip side of the coin perspective. You can't. I think it's possible to be married to someone, go through a real dark phase, which I think is natural, and divorce is a tricky phase,
not dark.
Let's change our language. It's not about dark. Dark is lovely. I think it's possible to go through those phases, and divorce is an option in at least your semi-subconscious, if you know what I mean. It's got one foot in the conscious and subconscious. I think it's a contemplation, and I'd say that because of some of the. Fortunately, we have the opportunity to counsel people and speak to people who are struggling, and divorce is an option. And so when Wanitta says that, and when I said that, it's like every other option before that option and every other option is choosing to stay. You know what I mean?
Let that settle in. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Deep.
And before I'm trying to remember, before it was This Is Marriage, you had a different name before, didn't you?
We Love Marriage.
We Love Marriage. That was the name before.
And we thought that was subjective, so we had to change it.
Because I was like, we don't. This ain't for us.
No.
Do you know why? Do you know part of it is that I will, when I do a project, I will start the project and then plan.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right?
Yeah.
Creative.
Build your wings as you're going down. Yeah.
So we jump off the ledge, then we're like, okay, now we've got to grow some wings. Let's hopefully we grow some on the way down before we hit the ground. That's what I would do. And I put it out there as We Love Marriage because it sounded good, but I think it was
that was years ago now.
Yeah,
that was like
5 years ago.
5 years ago. But when we spoke recently, we was thinking about a name change because we were now reaching out to
everyone.
We didn't want to narrow anybody out of the
that makes sense
as a whole. And so we just decided to leave it for now.
In fact, most of the communication came from people who weren't married or, single, dating. It was like married couples don't really say.
Yeah. No, they close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They think it's too late for them at that point. Like we're in it, so we're in it, and that's it.
Shut the door down.
Yeah. So. What are some of the considerations? Help out some of our audience now who are maybe in that single or dating phase. What are kind of like some of the most, or one or two of the most important things you think they should be considering that is easy to overlook?
I think I've got about 3 that
for marriage. Is it?
For those who are single.
Yes.
I think there's 3 that I would consider that I wish I had considered when I was single, but ended up in the same spot with the same man. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But this is what I would say, and this is what we learned along the way in the last couple of months, was that there's no such thing as the one. You are the one, and you be the one for whoever is the one. Then everyone's the one.
I love
that is number 1.
Absolutely.
And number 2 is that I've been watching this guy called Anthony O'Neill, AO, and he looks a lot at finances, but he always kind of pitches his videos to those who are 20 and 30. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I wish I had known this stuff from I was young.
Yeah.
And so I would say to those who are single or who are not currently in a marriage or even divorced, that take this time to grow your wealth.
Yeah.
To leave a legacy for your family, to have good spending habits, to save, to invest and stuff like that. So we're catching up late. There's times when we look back over the last 20 years and go, why did we do that? We have to just take it as teachable.
Every day.
I keep going back and it's ruining me.
Don't go back.
So I just it's teachable. Go forward. So I'm applying those principles. We're applying those principles right now. We don't want to be. Don't be that black person coming up who nobody knows how much you got until you're dead. And then when you're dead, you sting everybody and say, "Me not leave you a penny. You not get a penny. The church go get the whole lot." Don't do it. It's cruel.
Unless that church is Templeway.
In
that case,
so our daughter's at the door, so real life. So that would be it. So it would be the one. Let's set a new culture around finances.
Yeah, 100%.
And number 3 is unload your bags now. Now, like open the bag. What's in there? Daddy issues. What's in there? Inheritance issues. I don't know. What's in there? Domestic violence. Empty the bags and start doing the self-work while she don't have.
That's a difficult one, isn't it? Else. But then there are probably people who are just petrified that they unload that bag and no one will embrace them. and so they are keeping the bag closed. They're kicking their way through courtship.
Yeah, but that bag,
and then they're going straight into marriage, and then just like, oh, I got a bag. I got to show you because I got the ring. Let me just show you something.
You know when you got Indian Manship, and then he's got the one blue bag and he's putting everything in, plantain, banana, pumpkin, yam, and you just have to go, can you double the bag, please? Can you double it? Like it's come on, man, double the bag.
Double the bag.
You know I'm gonna leave the show. Everything's gonna be on the floor.
Yeah.
So pumpkin rolling down Harlem High Street.
The pumpkin gonna be rolling down Harlem High Street. Gunsmoke's gonna pick it up, and he gone with the pumpkin. So what I'm saying to you is this: unload bloody bag.
Yeah.
Fuss anyway. In marriage is the place where the bag is gonna get bust.
Wow.
So you might as well start unpacking before you get there. So that's my 3 things, but it's from us.
Yeah.
It's not
how you do that from us. How you do that?
I like that.
Yeah, it's my another one to add because I know him.
You got anything?
I have to.
I told you.
I have to top her.
Bring it.
The icing on the cake. Go on.
I'm coming with bare cherries. All right. I would agree with it on that. And you know what? Sorry, just before I go into it, Ramona, you made a point to say to scare people off. And Wanitta said, listen, there is no escape. There is no escape from anything. Yeah. When you're married, you either make it or you break it. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's nothing else to consider. And the delusion of thinking that you can hide your stuff. I'll leave that there. For me, I would say that some of the advice, most of the advice I would give to someone who's single or dating is similar to that of marriage, and that is practice unity from now. And I'm always pointing to money when it comes to that. And money is really mindset. That's what money is. And what that means is it's ours. Yeah. And I thank God, if there's one thing that Wanitta and I do well is that we do us well. So it's like and my dad did that as well. And, I had a conversation with him even yesterday. It's like he would work and bring on the money. He doesn't have money, we have money. And so the mindset of usness or unity on all fronts, that level of sacrifice is crucial for unity. What else would I give?
So what does that look like?
No. Can I just? Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Okay, I want to highlight that for a moment, because culturally, as Black women, and I had this discussion with a friend a little while back, and historically, there's the culture of the women kind of, the man goes to work, the woman's at home, yeah. The man brings home his money, shares it with the family, and the woman is squirreling little money, because for that rainy day, you don't know if he's going to leave, you don't know if this is going to happen, you don't know. And then every now and then, like when your grandma will just slide a little money. I saw it even on Insta recently. It's like when grandma wants to give you some money, but grandma's giving you the money that she's been squirreling away. Now, how healthy is the squirreling, or is that just like, it's just a cultural thing, this is what we do as Black people? Is that you just kind of you have to for a rainy day, because if the roof came down, then maybe grandma might be able to say, well, granddad, I just so happen to have £2,000 under the stairs.
In an instant Halifax account with the book.
Yes, the passport.
With just my name.
In the Abbey. My name. In the Abbey.
You know what? I would say that every generation has its strengths and weaknesses. And those things that we're talking about, the exact same thing with my 2 grandparents. It was a matter of survival. That was key for their survival, because the men didn't necessarily have the ability to think necessarily business all the time, and sometimes they were, like in the case of laborers. yeah, these men, they're coming from a real hard life, and the women will come here and they will be like setting up, and then the men will be back home and they're going to set up another family without no one knowing. And so the women didn't really trust their man, but they love the man. And he's bringing on money. He's going to spend it on the bar and these other women. And she don't trust him. So she's going to put that money aside just in case for a rainy day.
Yeah, literally.
However, because we live in a different dynamic, we have to operate differently. And this is an age of transparency. And if we're going to try and live like that in this country, we're really set, because we are a weaker, a more challenged generation. We have to be transparent just to get the ball rolling. Yeah. Just for a chance to work, we have to be honest with each other. And we have to work as a team. And that's why, for me, I'm not hiding anything.
Plus, you got internet banking, so you can see.
You get me?
Everything.
When the text just comes on the text, and you're just like,
ring, ring. What's this?
Which room you got paid for? Which room? The roof was fine. Yeah, I think that we was talking about culturally.
Let me just say, this is what I said to Luke. Who been giving to charity? we got money for charity. Who been giving to charity? It was me.
I know that text, but sure. Okay, it was me. I'm yet to do that. But I think when sometimes we say culturally, I think we don't understand that we can change the culture. We can change it. So our culture is a way of life, and there's aspects that we've taken from our grandparents and our parents, and there's stuff was left behind because it's like it's not gonna see us through for this time. So for me to take money and hide it from Curtis is being deceitful. It's gonna put a bad taste in a relationship. So that doesn't work for our culture. Yeah. So our culture is a mix of the old and it's a mix of us. So for example, sometimes our teenage daughter, she's like, oh man, can't you go back to the old days when we used to have Sunday dinner? But it's like, you never ever had that. You never cooked rice and peas and chicken. You've been a vegetarian your whole life, love.
It's not worth it without chicken, is it?
It's bare carbs.
And rice and peas is a treat. And then I didn't grow up with rice and peas and chicken because my mum became a vegetarian when I was young and started to cook like Jamie Oliver.
Boy, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
And it was nice. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that she wouldn't stew that okra, she would bake that okra. She would just do something different. It was all something. You remember my mum's house? She would put banana in rice, for goodness sake, and seeds and coconut. She would do really different stuff, really creative with food. But what I would say that to say that I saw my mum create her own culture. And so I've taken bits from her culture. Curtis has taken bits from his parents' culture. So he would need a dumpling and a half, as you lot have tasted. Do you know what I mean? The other day, he made a roti and a half. Like, I love a roti. That's my favorite food. And he made it like a trini.
Made my marriage, we took my marriage to the next level.
You get me? And he's not trini.
I wrote that on a bed, mate. It changed everything.
That roti made it.
But I did put foil down, though. I didn't want anything.
Roll it.
It's not for the internet. It's not. I told you, it's not for the
rolling pin and everything.
So, but what I'm saying is, we're not Trinis.
No.
But that's our culture now. So since him and our son has made that roti so good, roti will be in this house at least every 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Which is, it will be. It's our culture. That's our culture.
That's on the calendar.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good point. I think it's a good point. And I also think it's a good point because even going back to, as well, what Mona said about that old school way of doing money, do you know, I actually wouldn't be mad because I know my habits with money go up and down, right? Yeah. So if
okay.
So that being said, do you know what? I wouldn't actually, if something cut down the line, I'm like, cool. If she was squirreling away, I actually honestly would not mind. And I link that to what you're saying about culture, because I believe that sometimes we want to take things that apparently it shouldn't work or you shouldn't do, or apparently you should do, but actually as you create your own culture, it's like you just have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
That's what I find. I wanted to ask you that. Do you think that's true? Like, you feel free to disagree with me. Do you think that's true? Do you think there are some things that I just know? Or do you think it's what works for a couple? like a couple comes to you and says, you know what,
we sleep in separate rooms,
or even what else can I think of?
Is that
we got polyamorous. We polyamorous.
Okay,
I'm just giving examples.
Just rope it back.
I'm just no. I'm going to the extreme.
Yeah, you are.
To say, because it's the full spectrum. Whether it's the money area, most people say don't screw away money, but I'm saying, well, actually, if you did do that, well, actually, that could be smart because you know your partner has ups and downs in money. Like, do you think though? Like, basically, what I'm saying is, are there some principles that should never change for you, and that's that, or do you think it's whatever works for a couple?
I think it's a mixture of the two.
Okay.
And but everything for me is about why, and everything ask what an SS account is. Okay. Everything revolves around the why. So if we're sleeping in separate rooms, why?
Yeah.
Because you know the culture that we're creating here, that we're striving for, is about peace. It's about love. It's about growth. It's about development. It's about unity and vulnerability and honesty and trust. It's about a wide range of things that really are more pillars under our feet so that we can stand. So when I have money, what I have done is I've eliminated selfishness, and I've eliminated distrust by saying, here it is. Hey, actually, we've got a joint account and we both put it up.
Yeah.
So I haven't created another situation. I haven't removed it. I've got more pillars under me. If I'm sleeping in a separate room, for example, if the reason is because of snoring, I can get it. But if the reason is because of anything else, that, you know, it needs to be looked at. And so when people are having, when you say polyamorous, I think it's when you want to have multiple partners, I'm guessing. Multiple, right?
It just sounded like the right word to use at the moment.
Poly means no.
I don't know what
many. It must mean many.
Yeah. Poly means many.
Poly means many. So many, whatever, it's going to be someone else. So I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And people will give their answers, but if you're married and it's not building your marriage, then it's a no.
Yeah. And
so you've got to work out what's for you. I think that's my answer, really.
Work out what's.
But you would let someone come to you and be like, so that would be your advice if someone came to you with these alternative kind of perspectives. You would say, okay, why? You will get down to the roots of the why. The why is more interesting than necessarily saying you shouldn't be or you shouldn't be. It's about why. I think that makes a lot of sense.
People do some stuff. People do some straight. I mean, the field that Wanitta and I work in, you see what young people do to themselves. Yeah. You see what parents do to themselves. Ramona, you've been there, I know. Look, we've all worked in the same field.
We've all worked in the same field, yeah.
Why do people hurt themselves and destroy other people? Okay? There's a reason why. So when we're looking at marriage, people do the same thing in marriage. There are little habits that we have which are very self-destructive. And you just have to ask yourself why. So when people are coming with, well, this is my new thing that I'm doing. Why? 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 You get to the bottom of it. That's our job. We've got to, Luke, you know, Ramona, you know, we've got to sit down with them and work this thing right back.
Yeah, draw it back.
Look where go to the root of the dysfunction. Systemically.
Wow. Wow. Jeez.
So we are looking at the time.
Yeah, and Instagram loves to try to cut us off, so we try to get in there first. But I want to go back again to Married at First Sight. Just say again.
How long we got?
No, we've got like 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes,
right.
But we'll give it 3 more minutes. So yeah, basically, Married at First Sight. So I've always had the idea. I always say, I think I've said this to you before, that I think two people who meet on the road and decide to get married. Before this show, I always said this. I think they have as much chance. I think I even said it to you guys, in fact. I think they have as much chance of a successful marriage as two people who have known each other for 10 years. Yeah. This is my belief, and I'm happy for you to disagree, agree, but I've always thought this because I'll just give you my rationale, is that as long as the two people Oh, someone's saying come off and come on again. I always think that it's a commitment.
Maybe.
I just think it's a commitment to the marriage that matters.
Yeah.
And if you're committed to the marriage, it doesn't matter if you've just met them or if you've been married for 10 years. Like, that commitment has to be there. And what do you think? Go on, Dave. Go on, Dave. Then we might have to come back there.
Okay. Because I think that I agree with you on the basis that if you get married at first sight, you then get to have the dating period, the courting period, the honeymoon period. You get to go through all of that before
unless you have children straight away, because you can still have children straight away.
You could, but you could also have children straight away when you're just dating.
So you're proving my point.
So the whole point is that in this setting, like, you get to kind of start, you know, you're doing the unpack, you're doing the learning. That's all quite exciting, isn't it? You still get all the butterflies, you still got all the newness of it, and so you could still go through that for a few years.
Okay.
Before you then trying to go, like, do I even like you?
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. What do you think, guys?
The honeymoon phase.
That's basically what
the honeymoon phase just gets you off the ground, but it won't keep you in the air.
No.
Ooh, jeez, repeat that for people at the back. Ramona was suggesting that the honeymoon phase is what would make that relationship that just met.
No.
Yeah, because the people
that.
who have dated longer, they've already had their honeymoon phase.
I was just saying, you've kind of got. I'm saying you wouldn't just kind of just go, I hate you immediately, because you've got
the honeymoon phase.
Initial phase to kind of go through to kind of carry you for a period.
Would you call it the honeymoon one?
Because the
honeymoon phase?
No, it's not quite the honeymoon, because you don't know each other at all. So you've got the how are you, who are you, what's your history, what's your mum, like your family, what do you not eat, like you've got lots of learning to do, and that is exciting before you get to the honeymoon phase, which is, I think, further down the line.
Okay.
So you've got, basically, in marriage, you've got dating still to do, haven't you?
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. So you're in marriage, but then you have to start dating. You have to start getting to know that, oh my goodness, don't put prawns. I don't eat prawns. I'm a Christian. What? You don't eat prawns? Prawns are my favorite. You've got all of that learning that makes it exciting at the beginning, and then you go into, I guess, the next level, which is what would have been courtship, but now is just like more intense dating.
Courtship. Oh, what generation are you from, fam? Courtship. That word went out with the Titanic. Courtship.
I must say,
jeez.
Yes. Wow.
So go on. You were saying. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with that? Do you believe that those phases are just when you just get to live them out within the marriage if you get married sooner? Because then I would also no. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, Ramona, I think I kind of see with you. I think that probably because of who I am and the way I perceive and process, I see it as one big lump, which is honeymoon phase, then after the honeymoon phase. And so that doesn't mean I'm right. It's just the way I see it. And with the honeymoon phase, it's something that kind of, after 5, 6, 7 years marriage, or when you get through that 7-year itch kind of thing, people want to go back to reminisce on those, and can we relive that? And it's like we're
7 years.
There's an itch taking place, right? There's an itch taking place, right?
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Elaborate on the itch first before I agree.
Do you know what?
It doesn't have to catch you.
Explain. Yeah, go carry on.
It's around that mark generally that marriages tend to come across. They get kind of they're supposed to be moving into a new phase, but it's a bit of resistance and lack of recognition. That's a general area, but some get it sooner, some get it a lot later. We know couples that are just getting there now. So, after many years of marriage, so it varies, but on average. But, I think that the element of just finding someone attractive in some capacity is important, right?
Agreed.
But it's not necessary, but it's important. Do you get me?
Agreed.
Right. So
I think it depends on the person.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree. So I think we're in agreement. It's a general thing.
Yeah.
For someone like me, it's a necessity.
Amen.
Right? But I so some couple, the majority of couples can just meet and get married. I believe that.
Yeah.
Because the things that make a marriage work and make marriage beautiful and make marriage just functional, and if you want to revive some of that honeymoonness, is the John Gottman.
Who's
they
that?
did a study. They did a study. There's an interesting, really kind of in-depth study on what makes marriages work. The most successful marriages work because of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And the second most important reason that makes marriages work is reaching out to the other person and making sure they're okay. Those two elements are the...
What's that? How do you describe niceness? Would you just call that being nice? Or how would you even term that?
Conscientious.
Conscientious. Yeah.
Which is a challenge for some people, but it's a core element of making a marriage work. So if you need... there's nothing that suggests that you need 2, 3, 4, 5 years together before you get married. It's just there's no information that can tell you that. In the same way, there's no logic. The logic is strong in that let's have sex before marriage and make sure that we're right for each other.
Yeah.
There's no data that suggests that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So logic and how you feel and the facts are often different. And I agree with Luke. I've said a lot now, I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
I agree with Luke.
We got a whole hour now.
For free. I agree with Luke in that what you're doing now, the whites, I'm shouting again, sorry. What you're doing
now, we're feeling the intensity. Go for it.
But I'm sitting next to Wanitta, you know?
Oh, sorry, the tube is vibrating.
It's making the tube going, yeah.
You see what that now? See what they're doing?
I love that sound effect.
Yeah. Is that how I sound? Is that how I sound now? Let me finish this point. What you guys are doing now is what it takes. What I'm seeing on screen is real.
What you see in life
is real. I know this couple.
Yeah.
This is what makes a marriage great.
We didn't have a long courtship at all. I feel like you have to say it in a very posh way.
Yeah, of course.
18th century
grandiose way. Yeah.
Courtship. We had a very short courtship of about 4 months before we wanted to marry him. And so we're living it. It's no indication.
Did you say yes?
What did you say?
Sort of. I think so.
Just take time, brother.
Does it matter if she said yes? Does it matter?
Said yes.
She's here.
I keep saying, my mum said, he said he would have asked me in the first month, and my mum said, "You don't know the man, he's going to kill you." But I'm still here though, mum.
Black people.
I love that.
Black people.
That's honest.
I love that.
Honest. Like, look out for your picnic.
Yeah.
Listen, if a man takes my child after 4 months, I say the same thing.
He's mad. He's mad.
Wow.
My mum diagnosed everybody as mad.
He's mad.
Everybody. They're mad. They must be
mad.
Mad. That's mad. That's a madness.
Yes.
Man.
The head gone.
It's
The head
true.
gone. The head is gone.
Yes, that's what she would say, 100%. But yeah, sorry, go on.
But I said yes, and I'm glad I said yes. I'm glad I didn't take my mum's advice. I say that respectfully, because her advice was based on her own experience. It wasn't mine. I've created a new experience. We've created a new one.
Wow.
And so if my children came and said, "I've just met a man and I want to marry him after 4 months," I would say, "You're mad.
You're mad. You're mad. Straight.
You're mad.
Only I can do that. You can't do that.
You can't do
Yeah.
that." But we can.
Yeah.
We can, but not yet. But that's a real interesting point, though, about the advice we take, isn't it? The advice we take and the advice we give. Because I know you, obviously, both of you enough to know that you're very thoughtful about the way you give advice, and the advice that you give. It's not just something you can write down on the back of a, you know, a napkin. Do you know what I mean? This is hard fought knowledge, wisdom, experience. How much of the advice you give how much of the advice you give is kind of in line with maybe your experience, and how much of it is like, how can you say to people like, well, this is how we do it, don't do it like that, and this is how we do it like that? Or and likewise, when you look at someone, would you take advice, for example, if a divorced person wanted to give you advice on marriage, would you take advice? Because their advice, although it didn't live out exactly in their experience,
they're saying,
do you think they still have something to offer?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, how do you feel about that?
You have something to learn from everybody. So even when we've had single people on the show, we've learned from them. So there's nobody we cannot learn from. So yeah, we have learned, and the advice we give out is the advice we live. I think to give anything else out would show on our faces, and we'll feel a load of shame when we switch off the camera. Sometimes things come off the cuff, which is like, okay, it's coming out, so maybe we should try this. But it's never, oh, you should, I think you both should bungee jump, and I know I'm not going near heights. Do you know what I mean? It's always practical. It's always realistic. It's like when Kurt does his health stuff, it's always, we can use what's in your kitchen cupboard. It's not going to cost you, and I always in the local greengrocers, it's not going to cost you your life. Give you what I can afford. If you don't have, you can't buy bottled water, we're going to use the tap and we're going to run it through a filter. But we're not going to condemn you and say you have to have Fiji water or you're not going to be in optimum health. It's like, okay, you can't get Fiji water yet, but let's work with the tap.
That water, yes.
So we work with in a realistic framework. It's horrible to put expectations on people and you don't have them for yourself. And so it's living that stuff. And I just like to hail out that one of the most influential couples in our early days was our mate Carl and Carol. And I lived with Carl and some other guys just before we got married. We got engaged around the same time. But they were believers, and you could feel it, you could see it, you could smell it on them. And I remember, you know, there was times when we were struggling to keep our hands off each other, and we would walk past their room and they would have the door open, like wide open, and you just see them on their knees, you know what I mean? They didn't have to tell us nothing. Just walking past that room and seeing that was enough for us to go, behave. You know what? Behave yourself. That is where we should be focusing our energies. Unfortunately, we lost Carol about a year into their marriage, so which was hard. But yeah, they didn't even speak the example. They lived it in front of us. They lived it through the journey of her cancer. They lived it through even past her death. He continued to live it. And so for me and for Kurt, it was seeing the demonstration was more powerful than hearing it, because I think we've heard it and we hear it all the time in church. Used to come to church, sister so-and-so sitting here, brother so-so, you didn't even know they was married. And you hear, it's their 70th wedding anniversary. And you're like, them two, I thought they were brothers and sisters. Like, them two are married. Like, you had no idea. Do you know what I mean? And we came across and saw relationships on a weekly basis, but in such a negative and tainted way. Well, you saw so-and-so laughing hard with Deacon so-and-so, but when she was with the husband, Matt was, it was like, is this our demonstration of what marriage should be? Or with me and Mona, we had a sex seminar with the youth, and you know, it was just a lot. You know what I mean? And it was like the man they didn't teach us anything but how to fight off pervy deacons.
Wow.
So we didn't learn much about love and marriage with those around.
They weren't good examples. They were not positive role models. No. I think there was a, and I don't know if it's because it's the house of God, but there was not a physical, you didn't see a physical attraction between these couples, or any level of like or intimacy. And these were our elders. These were the people we were looking up to. These are the people that we wanted to see showing up. You know, put a little hand on her leg.
Yeah.
You know. And I remember when Luke and I were dating, and he had his arm round me
in church,
and someone commented to me and said, like,
did they tell your mum? I think they told your mum, didn't they?
I think that was another time.
Yeah, okay, fine.
But on this occasion that I'm thinking of, someone commented and just said, and it's like, you know, it's just not good. I don't think it's good to be seen in front of the young people, like hugging each other and everything.
In church.
And I was just like, actually, I would like to see it more. I would like to see that couples in this church show some form of, I'm not saying that you have to be pulling up her skirt hem and, you know, and if you want to.
These two. You know.
While the sermon's going on. However,
a little bit,
there needs to be some kind of, I don't know, it doesn't, put an arm around her, stroke her shoulder, like, and vice versa. Put your hands, you know, lock fingers. It doesn't have to be, you know, oh, you know, we're just in church and we're so highly sexualized. But it was like, it went, because it couldn't be that, it was just bored. It was just bored. Yeah. And you just looked at it and you just thought,
I don't want that.
I need a man in the world.
Yes.
You know what?
I need a man in the world.
Run. Yeah.
You know, and of course that's what really happened, did it?
Yeah.
But what is worse often is that people then go and they have fun in the world because it looks like fun, and then they come and they have a dead marriage because then they recreate what they've seen. So they're just like, oh, it was so fun being out and wild, and you were just, I met this girl and she was the girl of my dreams, but she wasn't a Christian, so I'm going to marry this deady one who reminds me of my granny. And then the next generation is just in church looking the same.
And that's what we had to break it. I think we decided to move away from the church we were attending about 3 years ago. For one of the reasons was because when we went in, we were so busy. You know, Curtis would leave before me. I'll be at home with the kids, cooking 2 pots of rice, ironing 2 dresses to put in the boot in case the third one got stained. Spare clothes for the kids, spare shoes, trainers in the boot to go to the park. And as he got in, he was teaching Sabbath school. Then he was on the organ. Then I was teaching the kids Sabbath school. Then I was leading worship. He was playing. Sometimes he would go from playing to preaching, then back down again. Wow. Then after the sermon, be at the door quickly, run in the car, get the 2 pots of rice, put the rice on the fire, dish out the rice, dish those who haven't taken their coat off all day, who sat down to be served.
Who want to get married.
We don't mind being servants, but that was taking the mick. Putting away the chairs after lunch and the tables and wiping them up, then going to the park and sneaking with our own kids so we could get 5 minutes, but then people would sit there and say, go with auntie and uncle, and we would be 20 kids in tow every Sabbath to the park, come back, then deliver AYS, and then lock up the church.
AYS, for those that don't know, is the youth service in the afternoon.
The afternoon youth service, which didn't have any youth in. And then we ended up just
burnt out.
Even talking on Sabbath, and we said, this is a robbery and it can't continue like this. So there was no, you know, when it's like there's no time for, you know, I don't even think it's an oh dear, I think it's a commonplace thing. This is not a surprise. This is everyday life. That's why you see what you see. And we said, this is not, we're not going to crystallize into this. So it's not even a oh dear, it's like, actually, this is standard. That's standard, week by week. You come to check brother, sister, so-and-so, you don't see them talking. They're doing, in the name of Jesus, doing different things in
different rooms, different parts.
In different places, and then the car door shut, boom. And then you try to start having a conversation.
You see, this is where, not faith, but religion, when you use religion to hide your sins, and I think that's probably where iniquity, the term iniquity comes from, when you're hiding with your sins, you know what I mean? And it's like you're preaching a gospel of love, safety, security, and then you've never seen it. And I think there came a point where Wanitta and I were just like, you know what? And I remember saying, I'm like, I'm never going to fake any element of what we are and what I am. We're going to just do this. But I think we were just working so hard, we didn't know how to connect. And it was a routine that you're in it. You're in a role with somebody. You've got position. You've got responsibility. Yeah. Yet on the side, your kids are rotting away. Yeah. And your relationship's rotting, you know. And you're picking up doctrines and you're bringing it home, and it just brings more that dissension between you. And I just said, nah, no more. I'm never again gonna preach what I'm not living. Wow. And that is something. I probably, if I was going to speak to Christians, never preach what you're not living, and don't be having great conversations with someone else when you're not having it with your partner. If you're not having it with your partner, say something. Have, at the very least, an argument about the thing. Meet each other and just say, look, this is it. I don't like your company. I'm at church. I feel like somebody at church. We're not talking. Say it. Just say it out and have no fear of the nonsense. You know what I mean? And Wanitta and I have done a lot of that. Wow. We've had it out.
And that is, and
I like a bit of having it out.
You have to.
I like things said.
It's true. Because I mean, many times I've woken up in the middle of the night, Mona's eyes just open. What's the matter, Mona? Well, you know, we have to talk about. I'm like, can't I just sleep? Can't I not sleep?
No, I have boiled a kettle twice.
Mona will not sleep if there is something she needs to talk about.
Listen, the thing is, right? Even like one of my friends, she always just says, like, you know, when things are hard, I just shut down. I'm like, I need a little bit of that shut down thing, because if something bothers me, it's just like, it's just out, and I'm just like, oh no, that wasn't. It just I has to come out.
No, you know what? It's better to have that argument, man. It's
better but sometimes it doesn't always come out nice. No, you know, you want it to come out nice. But it doesn't always come out nice. It just comes out because I have to say it. It has to come out. Then I can sleep. I can actually probably only sleep really well when I wait for the response, and the response is good.
My response generally is, and this is where a lot of learning is coming in, because my response is generally, well, I guess,
I gotta go. The baby's awake again. He's not like.
I need to go this time.
Yeah, go.
All right, cool.
Okay. on the monitor. I usually go like this. Hang on, look. Shh. Sleep, baby, sleep. Lie down.
You didn't have that back in mind.
Does that work?
Sometimes.
What is it? What is it?
Yeah. I can see him, and sometimes he just does this. He just lies down, and I watch him. And other times he's just looking in the camera like
no.
It just gets louder. Anyway, sorry. What were we saying?
Don't remember.
Oh man. Yeah.
Having it out. You sleep better.
Having it out. Then I sleep good. I can't. I wait. But Luke needs to think about it then. So he doesn't give a response immediately. But I want a response, because now I want to sleep. I can't go. I still am like, I've spilt my everything. So what you got to say? And then I wait. And then I don't always get a response.
We grew together.
I like it. I like to just, even when I don't want to do it, even when I just think, just hold it down, Ramon, just let it settle. See how you feel at the end of the day. In 15 minutes, it's just out.
So how does that work for a day in church when you got 6 hours ahead of you?
We go to Templeway. It's not that kind of church.
It's not that kind of church.
It's not that kind of church.
You got to go to the right church. If you're going to go,
go to the right church.
Go to the right church, man.
You have to go to the right church. And listen, I would not survive in traditional church.
No.
Let me put it out there. I would suffocate in traditional church.
With a family. With a family and with multiple skills that you have, you would be
by myself
so much that your children would be
by myself
neglected.
In a relationship,
Yeah.
But we were both active in our church.
Same.
And no matter what we did, there would be critique. It was never good enough. There would still be something, just surrounded by that whole tradition. I never, you wouldn't be dressed right. You wouldn't be carrying yourself right. You wouldn't be looking the way that, you wouldn't be speaking, saying the things that they want to say. And Luke and I, neither of us fit the traditional mold intentionally. I have no desire to. It doesn't fit me. For me, and for Luke, our goal is to be like Christ, and he didn't fit a mold. There wasn't the mold was not, just you just coming up. I couldn't have my marriage in traditional church under the scrutiny and the critique and the watchful eye of tradition, and couples who don't even sit next to each other and don't talk to each other.
You need to write a piece on that. What's your book on that? So, definitely.
I have found, being at Templeway. What happened there? That was quick. Yeah. A little bit of rum for the child. It's just like, drink. So I was just saying that our marriage,
traditional roles.
I think in as being part of Templeway, with it not being so traditional, that our marriage is never, even though we're busy, we're in the same room, we're still connected, like we're still sitting next to each other, we're still our children are running around our feet. It's busy, but it's
you're not separate.
It doesn't separate us.
Yeah, because but I do think as well what you said, I think, and it links to what Curtis was saying earlier about, I guess, because there's a theology of church almost that we do, right? And so that busyness that usually happens around church, it's really because it's linked to our salvation, and goes back to what you're saying about grace as well. Basically, we've internalized the structure and how we do things, and being busy on Sabbath as being closer to God. And it's a righteousness by works, basically. It's a righteousness by what we're doing. So the busier we are on the Sabbath or on Sunday, whatever day you go to church, the busier you are on that day is the more holy you are, right? And the two are equated. You should come home at the end of the day and be mashed up because you've been serving God, right? And so there's such a layered thing when it comes to it. But and it takes, I don't even know, it takes so much to be able to, like, I really commend you guys to be able to look at that and be like, no, I don't want this, and to step outside of it, because it's to do something different. I don't care what it is, even just to eat a different cereal in the morning or not eat cereal, whatever the case is. Change is hard, right? And to do what you guys have done with 30 plus years of that institution, like, nothing but respect for that. And I think that, say again?
Nearly 40 plus years.
I know, I was trying to be,
Oh, he's being generous. It's okay, black don't crack. We can take that we're older. And then you think we're younger. Listen,
with all of that history and all of that tradition, it's huge. And I think that is, one of the huge things that I take from kind of your relationship, is that I feel like you've got that same type of ethos for your marriage. Like, what doesn't work, we will change. We're not scared to change because we've done this for the last 15 years. Like, if we now come with some new knowledge, or we just realize something different now, boom, let's do it different. And I think that's huge. That's massive for me anyway.
I think to add to that, it's miss it. Are you still there, bro? Yeah, I'm here. So I think that, say again.
I just wanted him to shut the doors.
Oh, okay.
We done that already, but we did that from the start.
Just came in, brother. Take time, man.
You know, you gotta know this game, man. We've been in it a while. We've been doing this for 8 months now, so we know this game.
I wish you 17. I want to shout out. Stop talking so loud on the
phone. I think there's something about tradition that is so destructive. And I'm crying out to married couples to look at your traditions. From your religion to your family practices, and question everything.
And choose them. Choose them.
You have to be like, you know, like when you do a little spring clean, you go through the wardrobe and you're like, right, what clothes need to go? You have to do that with your relationship. And in your relationship for Christians is made up of certain religious practices.
Yeah.
The way you do Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, some Christmases you might just spend with just you two. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Break the mold to make what you have work.
Wow.
Don't let culture and tradition be things that are sitting there. You know, you wake up in the morning and there's people on your couch. Who are they? Do you know what I mean? Like, how did they get there? Why are people just walking in your fridge and eating at your food? That's what tradition and religion is.
Yeah.
And culture. It's not, it doesn't have permission. If it doesn't have permission.
Yeah, it can be invasive. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us.
Yeah.
Take what we want and we'll leave what we don't need.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's so good.
and moving on to this part now.
Yeah.
Can you just hold your part a minute?
No, I can't. It's right there.
Mine was just a little slip in.
Yeah. Is it going to be how long?
I did the wrong sign there, innit?
I got to run this.
He's married.
And I think for the last 2-3 years, Wanitta and I have been really looking at blackness and what it means.
See, that's what I said. Hold that.
Oh, okay, go on.
Hold it, man. Come on.
Hold it, because I was saying in terms of tradition, the teeth.
The two.
The other side though.
It's like it's there, but it's going there.
Sometimes it's up here.
There.
Or here. You just start to
there.
there.
I was saying even breaking tradition is even when I look at you, Mona, you had a picture up today of Noah kicking the leaves. Kick which leaves, brethren? I still struggle. Curtis took JL like the other day to jump in the biggest puddles you ever seen.
I'm going to put it back up just for evidence.
And all I wanted to do was just blast down the whole of the child. It's dirty.
We had mad rain.
Yeah.
And our area was just flooded everywhere you go. The puddles are about that deep.
Wow.
And they're massive puddles. And I went on a scooter with JL, 5-minute rides, and she wanted to go out to wear her wellies. And believe me, at points, her wellies had about a foot of water in there. That's not half a foot of water in there. And in my head, I was like, that's disgusting. But it's not my feet. So she was like happy.
Yeah.
Cold, she's wet, she's shivering, and she's running and laughing. I was like, black people.
But I'm still working that out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cold and wet with dirty water and miserable after. I'm not seeing that you're laughing when you're in the puddles. I'm like, come on, out.
Yeah.
Wellies are not to get wet.
So when when I saw even the picture of Noah kicking the leaves, Gerald kicked the leaves this morning, and in my head, I'm saying, leave her. And then I just went, stop kicking, please stop kicking. Because all I'm thinking is that my mum would have said, poo's in the leaves.
Yeah, my dad was.
Wow.
But dogs don't poo on the street anymore like that, really.
No.
I wouldn't even have thought of that.
Yeah, poo's in the leaves.
My dad said that. He said, you keep kicking leaves and you're going to kick doo-doo, man.
Yeah, so it was like, she was doing it.
We come from a different generation.
Yeah, so when I even see you do that, I see an element of your own tradition. You take them to the farm. I mean, my mum did stuff like that, take us to the farm and stuff like that. And that was a break from tradition, because my gran wouldn't have done that with her children.
Yeah.
My gran came through the Windrush generation, was just here trying to make ends meet, deal with racism, deal with teddy boys, skinheads. And for mugging you back in the 80s. She didn't, and the 60s to 80s, and she didn't have time to take her children to the farm. The farm wasn't close. You go around with Park, you come home. That's it. So when even us going camping this year, we didn't own a tent.
How was that for you, one? How did you find camping, one?
Listen,
it's fantastic.
I loved it. I mean, when I got there and I saw that my friends had posh tents, I said, mate, we got to do this.
I saw a tent. I was like, that's
do this
you don't need to buy a house. I saw a tent with porch on it.
Yeah. I mean, they had settee, blow up settee,
shower room.
That sounds like glamping.
Yeah,
really?
proper.
They had blow up settee. No, you never had
blow up settee.
Yeah.
Our brethren had blow up settee.
You can buy them in Tesco, by the way.
Yeah, and I saw it in Tesco. So next time I go,
you don't need to buy a couch no more.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm
We're
ready.
coming. We're coming the next time. We're coming.
Yeah, man.
Next time. What I'm saying is that you would have told me to go camping a couple of years ago. No, sir.
Yeah, black people don't go camping.
We don't go camping, but I did wash often. So I would get up, have my shower, cook up the breakfast, do whatever, get hot and sweaty, and wash just before we was going out again. Because I'm extra like that. Yeah. So I was able to squeeze in my extraness in there. Now, if you said to me, we're just going camping in the woods, that's you. If you get a brook to wash at, I'll still do it.
Would you still do it?
Yeah. I'll break that tradition because I saw the joy on my kids' faces.
Absolutely.
And I got a wicked tan as well. You get me? But
blessings on blessings.
I really had an amazing time in doing something which was not conventionally seen as
what our culture does.
The difference is I'm first generation British, aren't I?
Yeah.
So my mum was born back home. She was the Windrush generation. I am first born British, as in I'm the first generation. So I didn't have any, like the things that you're saying that your mum would do that your grand wouldn't do. My mum wouldn't have done them.
Yes.
So I grew up, and my mum still, I'll be out with the children, they'll be in their full, and you've seen the regalia that I put on my children, they're on their full waterproof, but from around their face.
Yeah, but JL doesn't.
Right to the wellies. JL doesn't, so it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, right down to the wellies. However, saying that, my mum would still say just like, don't sit on the floor. Don't touch the thing. Don't let the thing. Don't touch. Like, and I'll be like, don't go through the puddle. And I'll be like, that's what the wellies are for.
Yeah.
And I must say, two things is that I have, in my parenting and my relationship, I have had to read to break away from the things that have held me back, that could hold me back. I have had to read. I have had to research. I have had to be intentional about saying, I can't repeat that. I can't repeat that. I can't bring that forward into my marriage. I can't bring that forward into
my kids,
into my parenting, into my family. I've had to intentionally be like, I need a book. I need a book on that, because I get up one day and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing in this sense, Do I let the child? We went to the park the other day, and when I said the children were swimming in the puddle.
Oh yeah. No, literally. Even Onyx, the middle one, drinking the puddle, putting his mouth on the puddle water. That's even that is even for me. Even for me, who happily eats off the floor, by the way, I will happily drop something off the floor. I've got a 10-year rule. If it's there within the last 10 years, I'll eat it, right?
Second.
10 years. Even for me, right? That was like, this is. Have we broken that?
He's going to next levels. You know what I mean? On your behalf.
Next levels, but for the joy that came from it. And then when I'm with the other home educating mums, there's just a relaxed energy that I just didn't grow up with. Relaxed was not the energy of my childhood. It was tense. It was intense. It was just tight and stiff and suffocating. And I don't want to recreate that in my marriage or in my house, in my home. And I am fighting with the inner child in me who had it that way, but I want it better and I want it different.
And that, I think, just not on that, sorry, and then because I think that's been a big thing, because for me, like, it ends a lot, because I like to argue as it is. But many arguments have been ended. Mona goes, well, I read, and she knows it now. And I'll be like, I can't even, what am I going to argue? My opinion when you've actually done research. So I think that's been really key. Like, that has cut a lot of arguments short, because it's just like, we can argue about opinions all day long, right? I would much rather, let's have an educated conversation, and then I'm going to be like, okay, cool. And I think that has helped a lot, because she's realized that, and so she uses that card sometimes even when it's not true, and sometimes I do. She doesn't even know when I read too.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's really, really important. But go on, Curtis, you were going to say.
Well, to add to that, in the light of what you just said, I don't do facts. I do feelings. All that reading, you don't know what you're reading. You know?
Yeah. Says the almost PhD. Yeah.
This is it, you know. According to my qualification. But I would say that, interestingly, you know, for the last few years, Wanitta and I have been really just having conversations around being black. And growing up, the term black was a negative, and it's actually becoming empowering.
Yes. If we drive near the school, there's an area where we used to say we're going for a black spot. Now we say we're going for a white spot. I'm going to white-mail you.
No, I love it. I love it.
No.
I wasn't really.
I love it. But it's true. Yeah, go on.
That's how we have a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
But
in a serious way.
Yeah, no, but you know what, it's true, because I said I was in a black spot, and I felt bad for saying, like, why am I saying that?
Yeah.
You're right.
Turn it around.
But
Change narrative.
But the term black is just touching base with history that we never knew.
Yeah.
And then saying, how can I bring that home? I know I'm in the system, I'm in the matrix, but I can bring some of this home to my children, to my kids. And I was giving a presentation today at work on what it is to be Curtis. What is your version of your culture?
Dr. Powell. Dr. Powell, what is your version of?
You know, although they're not necessarily the most experienced, the most qualified person in the room, with all my management there, apart from one. And
wow.
And she said, about 30 seconds before the meeting, she's like, you know, you're giving a presentation today. I said to her, what? She goes, yeah, you're next.
You just said, yeah, mom. Yeah, mom. Go on.
That's like a stereotype.
I know, exactly. That's all they wanted. Yeah.
You know, I work in North London, and it's you know, anyway. So I'm looking back at my history, and I'm looking at all the madness my grandma went through, and I'm working it. I'm showing them how we got here, and not only how we got here, literally physically, but how we got here. So in a few seconds, I had to break that down, and I was like, we've done a lot as black people, looking at our history, and I'm trying to make sure my son.
Wow.
Like, you know, like back in the day, you'd be like, cut your hair. You need to grow your hair, bro.
Yeah.
Let's put some twists in. Yeah, let's shape up and do some twists.
It's like this now.
Oh, listen, and it's like, here comes.
Oh, God, see, I love it.
It's all like that, and I'm like, he's black.
I love
You're
it.
gonna like it and lump it, and I have to say that because our generation, it was suppressed. To survive, we had to suppress it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And we love people here, you understand?
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of it in the terms, when I think of the children, just in a simple way, with the little one, we're consciously buying black Barbies. It's like
too much, too many.
Got too much now. The big one counted it.
You have to pass them this way.
Yeah, the big one counted and said, it's not fair. How come she's got so many? Well, you don't actually need Barbies now at 17, but she's kind of vexed that she's got so many Barbies.
Wow.
But I think I was doing my own, buying them for myself because I didn't have black Barbies. So every black Barbie I buy, there's a feeling what comes over me in the shop. Like I'm doing something great for me.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I remember having 3 for 2 reasons. I had about 3. They were white, and I cut one of their hair, and I realized it didn't grow back, so she was bald and spiky. And the other 2, I remember my dad taking them away when I was only 9, and because I got a bad report at school and saying, "You're too big for this now," and I hadn't finished with them. I hadn't finished. So when I buy them, I buy them for me and her.
Yeah.
So for the child in me, I buy it for me, and I buy it for her. And she has a one with vitiligo. She has an albino one with a full blonde afro. She has a disabled one in a wheelchair. She has one with a prosthetic leg but crimped edges. She has one with braids like mummy. She has one with light braids, who's like a lighter skin version. She has a beautiful dark one with purple hair. She's got one with hips and an afro, one with shaved hair and mohawk. Yes. She got a black guy. He looks a bit dodgy. That I want to just I want to give him a licking. But he's there. We let him in. And so
I saw him online with two gal on his lap though the other day.
That's him though. We're working on him. So
we're praying for him. I said, what is going on? Ken is there. Behave yourself, Ken.
But I just want to add this. Yeah. It's so important that we do this.
Yes.
Because
you're gonna add, but go on.
I'll tell you why. Because I remember.
I know I'm going.
There was a time when Charlie, as a little child.
This is your eldest.
Huh?
This is your eldest.
For those that don't know.
The eldest. Yeah. She's 17 now. As a little child, she felt that the black kids were ugly and the black dollies were ugly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because they made them like that. They did.
Yeah. Then they were.
Yeah, they were.
And there weren't many black dolls then, but when they were,
she didn't want it.
JL, when she was a bit younger, she felt that white was more beautiful, and that disturbed me. And I'm like, I'm not even teaching you that. Where are you getting that from?
Yeah.
And so you can see how black people and black couples are born on their back foot.
Yeah.
Just trying to look at themselves as beautiful. So when I see my wife now, no, let me not say that now. No, I was going to say something, but I won't say it.
Oh, you make me feel nervous.
No.
Anyway,
I've learned my lesson. But you know what? What I like to do is I like to go on Pinterest and just look, or Instagram, just look at black art and black families.
Yeah.
It helps solidify
100%.
the beauty of it all. Because we've never had this before.
What I was going to say was this. There was an experience we had last year when we went to my sister's gym, and she's was in a posh gym, like one of the top-notch ones, and it had like a kids' play area and restaurant and everything. And
I know that one.
Yeah, the kids.
One day I'll be able to go there.
One day.
I've been someone's guest before, but one day.
I want to go in the plunge pool, the ice pool, it's that one.
Ooh.
Yeah. So our kids were running through the corridor towards the play area, and I said, I don't have to say a word, just and they stopped, and she looked at me. She said, "No, we pay for this place.
Wow,
their kids are running. We're supposed to be here as well. Let them run."
All this baggage, man.
And so now I have to intentionally say, "Go."
Wow.
You don't have to hold back. So we was going, and I took it a bit far this Saturday because we was going in the park, and Gerald went like this, and I said, "No, you mustn't be scared of white people."
Yeah.
And she said, "I wasn't. I was staring at the little doggy," and I felt so embarrassed.
No, but you're right.
You mustn't. You mustn't, because that was me again.
Yeah.
The little girl running and then going, "Oh, no, hold it down, behave yourself." Which is what came from our parents and our parents' parents and our parents' who were in captivity, who would have been taught that for survival.
Yeah.
We're no longer having to survive like that. So run. You run and you scream and you keep going.
Yeah.
So I'm working that out where it's like that doesn't come up by default. Just run. Enjoy yourself.
I always I tell you, Wanitta is one of my favorite. I always say this. Wanitta is one of my favorite public speakers. I've always
let's do something then. You get me?
Curtis, you're the brains behind the operation.
Let's do something.
Oh, let's do something. Yeah, no, 100%. Because the way, the power of stories that you have is just unprecedented. But I really resonate with just that reality that every day we have to choose, like, what type of husband, what type of wife, what type of parent we want to be.
Yeah.
It's like it has to be at the forefront of our minds.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're just going to default into old patterns.
Yeah, definitely. And then that narrative which follows comes out of my mouth, because we work with young offenders, and they are namely black, and that's for many different reasons. It's because of disproportionality in stop and search by police. where you go and look for it, you will find it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's for austerity, it's for economic deprivation, it's for fatherlessness, it's for many reasons why this happens, right? But I forget, because I see it every day in such an intensity. I think it's everybody. It's every black kid. It's not. It's a small minority. The others are going to university. The others are in school. The others are like my boy upstairs who sleeps at 8:30. He better be sleeping, as I just said it. He goes to bed at 8:30. He comes straight home from school. I've got this urgency still to get him out of London, I'll be honest. And it's not a good thing. But because the streets are also powerful. But I forget that our children have a secure base. So mum and dad is here and we instill stuff in them. And also they have, if we're not, uncle's going to check you. Mommy's friend's going to check you. Uncle Luke's going to get you. Aunt Mo's someone is. There's a community that's like, no, I'm backing this whole system here. So I've also got to draw back and say, although we see this every day in work, this is not the reality. Plus,
this is not the reality
of the Almighty God, what we pray daily on our children. This is not and will not be the reality of my black boy or my black girl. And so I want to be able to sit comfortably in that.
Just calm it.
And just be like, okay, so I don't have to give that narrative all the time. So what I've been doing, I write assessments for young people. And there was one, the youth is doing holy madness, I can't even say on here. And I wrote in the diversity section about the disproportionality and that he would experience systemic racism. No one writes that in diversity. They would write dyslexic, or they would write, single parent, that's it. I wrote all of that in the diversity, but I also put, he is from a rich African diaspora. You know what I mean? He's come from that. And once he understands that, this will be able to form his identity. Now, when those managers...
I never used to like that.
So when the white people who I was sitting with in the panel heard that, they said, we could never say that to him. And I said, that's wrong. Of course you can say that to him.
Of course you can.
You're supposed to say that to him, that he's come from a rich continent with values and with stability. Do you know what I mean? And this will form his identity. He's supposed to hear it from everybody.
It's what he needs. It's what he needs.
That's what he needs. And so that is now my new approach to, instead of scaring my son, I still tell him, if you see a fight, you better move a certain amount of feet because they're going to get you for a fray. Or if there's someone in a robbery, you're going to get done. He still gets the common sense stuff. But I also say to him, you know who you are.
But this is where culture is empowering. The marriage. We are choosing, as opposed to just allowing it to be a subconscious journey. We are choosing how to support ourselves and arming. And these conversations with you guys is inspirational, and it's therapy, and you guys you're just doing it, man. And don't stop doing this, man. This is listen, you guys.
Not after October.
No, don't stop doing this because it needs to carry on. It's not Black History Month at all.
It's true.
It's just Black History and Black Present. You know what I
mean? Black Future Month.
Black Future Month. Black Present Month.
Year.
Black Future Year.
No, for real.
Forever. You get me?
Jeez. Wakanda.
Forever.
You get me? Forever. Keep it moving.
Oh man, I think that's a perfect place to land the plane on, as they say in theological pastoring circles, of which I am a fraternity. It's been an amazing conversation, and I just love you guys so much. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you, for just being out there. Because there are challenges that come with that. So. Yeah, man, just bless you, bless your family. I just pray that everything that you put your hand to will prosper, and that we get a slice of that pie when those blessings come, mate.
We send back up to you as well, man.
We're coming camping.
Yeah,
we like that. We're there this time. I've got to get a blow up. So fun.
Put it this way: the next tent we get in is going to have a chimney on it.
And a fire.
Levels.
And a jacuzzi.
I like that idea.
Oh,
it's going to be levels, mate. So start looking on Facebook Marketplace.
Now.
Now. People must be selling them in the winter.
They are.
All right.
Man.
I reckon after this furlough period, people are going to be looking at tents for real. It's going to be interesting.
Listen, tents, boats, caravans.
Yeah.
Kind of like everything, really. But
holidaying in the UK It was all right.
Okay. See all the things that spice up your marriage.
Yeah,
well, I saw one. I'm gonna send you it later, Mona. This girl called Lydia. I'm not gonna plug her because she ain't plugging me. You get me? And she went away with her man whose face never gets on camera in an RV. Ooh. They rented an RV for them too, and she was cooking some food in there, man.
Really?
They drove the RV up to where we went to Dodo.
Okay.
And I was like, me and Kurt, let's get an RV and go, man. 4 days in an RV.
We just hired a transit van that'll do.
Transit? No, man. We need a full
RV. Like them old, remember the old VW little?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah, but I need a shower in there, bro.
Oh.
You get me? I need to shower.
What happened to the brook?
The brook.
The brook is if we have to.
Not by choice.
If the RV hooker don't work. All right. Well, you know what? We love you.
Yeah.
Yes, we love you.
We celebrate your marriage. We celebrate your love. Thank you for everyone who's joined us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will definitely speak again.
Probably in a couple of minutes. Everyone, please make sure you check out This Is Marriage UK. See what they're up to on YouTube, on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well? But it's mainly YouTube, Instagram, isn't it?
Just stay. Yeah, YouTube and Instagram.
YouTube, Instagram. Follow what they're doing. Yeah.
Facebook's quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Support the thing, man. Support the thing.
Please follow.
Not just this month, but forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, man. Bless them. Speak soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Black love forever.
Black love forever.